Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Glimesh team meeting. Tonight we've got a pretty straightforward one. Nothing crazy is happening tonight. If you didn't catch our video last week, we introduced our new Phase 2 roadmap. So if you want to catch up on that, you can watch the last video. We'll also be showing it tonight in tonight's video, so you can catch up now. But basically, what we're going to do tonight is talk about some of our wins, talk about some of our new features and fixes, and then we're going to cover our roadmap status to kind of see where we're at. For anyone who is new here or who doesn't know, if you talk in text or you decide to talk over voice, your audio would be recorded and sent to YouTube, uploaded there and stored there. So if you don't consent to that, please don't talk. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we cover in every team meeting is metrics. This is 1 week of metrics. Last week we did 2 weeks because we skipped a week, but this week was just the last 7 days. You can see on Discord, we declined again about 76 users. We've seen this be a continual pattern week over week for Discord. There's theories, it could just be people are leaving Discord because there's a potential that Microsoft may be buying it. We could just be seeing natural attrition that happens. Since you can only have X amount of Discord servers, people like to clear out clutter. They may be getting updates from Twitter. It's not indicative of like a really bad thing, but it's something we should be monitoring. Ideally, this number is going up, but right now we're still kind of on a downward trajectory. Twitter this week was the first week to ever go down in followers. We did have about 15 new followers last week, but we lost 17 or so followers in that same time frame, so we're down about 2. On Reddit, we grew by 4 new users. I know that Paco is starting to try and give the Reddit a little nudge. Paco, do you talk about that for a second? Do you have anything to share there?
So far, basically all I've done is a little background work. If anybody here has run a subreddit before, then like there's the auto mod you can set up. So I'm getting that in place, kind of making sure that our visual branding is consistent and getting some things in place so that when people do start to show up and get more active, then it's already there and it's not a scramble like, oh no, we need to have, post flares or user flares or thing like that.
Got it. From Instagram side, we're up 12 users, and then Facebook, we're up 6. On the platform in its entirety, we're up 367 new users, and then MRR is down $350. Normally, we showed 2 charts here. We show the platform user growth and the subscription chart. It's come to my attention that the subscription chart is not showing the churn. It's only showing increasing amounts week over week, so it's not accurate at the moment. So I'm going to fix that, and then we can talk about that chart again. But the subscription chart would be going down right now pretty consistently since our launch. So at launch we were at about 10,000 MRR, and since then we've dropped to about 8,100 MRR. As we said previously, the rate at which we're losing streamers is way. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Basically, our growth rate and our MRR rate seem to be not completely attached. So even though we're losing the amount of active people each week, we're not necessarily completely redlining it on the revenue side. Like I'll show in a couple slides here from now, we'll talk about financials. We are actually more profitable now than we were at the beginning or the end of last month, just because we're actually budgeting properly. So not necessarily, like chaos here that MRR is going down, but it is a signal of our growth, and we should just be trying to continue to grow the platform, getting new viewers, new streamers on it to continue to grow all these numbers. All right, next up is traffic. I included up here so this is the previous 7 days, from now until last Tuesday, and then this one is the Tuesday before that to the Tuesday before that one. So it's the week before. So you can see that we are still down, not only week over week on traffic, but even on like page views, we have significantly less than we did even a week ago. 16,000 to 11,000 is not extremely great, but we do have a plan of action here. We know what we're targeted on as far as growth and marketing goes, and it's just about getting all the puzzle pieces in the right place and actually getting a move on things. For anyone who's commenting in chat, this is actually what we've been showing week over week since we had the launch stream. I think there is amount of decline that is expected. Anytime a new game launches, if it's not meeting everyone's expectations 110%, there's a huge cliff that it falls off as far as like viewership and playing goes. So I think some of that is to be expected, but you can see here's our web traffic graph. The overall graph is exactly the same. We had a huge peak on launch day, and then since then we've kind of been, trying to find some kind of equilibrium. It's bad that it's just continuing week after week and we're not able to increase. You can see that there are some days that we're doing better, but for the overall trajectory, it's still kind of going down. Twitter, I feel like I'm saying it again. We're not tweeting as much, which means that we're not getting interactions, we're not getting engagements, we're not getting, interactions. That's basically controlled by us. We need to make sure that we're continuing to post and interact. We've got an idea now that, or not an idea, we've got some momentum on the events space and the marketing space that we really want to take advantage of. We are talking about it in our marketing channels, in our design channels, and our product channels to try and figure out like how we can improve this. But really, the kind of master plan right now is all about phase 2. Let me skip ahead to that real quick. So phase 2 is really where we're trying to kind of prepare ourselves to be more accessible to more viewers. A lot of the reason that people chose not to use Glimesh are no longer streaming on us is because they're either not they're not getting the features that they want. We don't have everything that they want yet. Maybe they're not experiencing any kind of native viewership on the platform, or as a third, they're having some kind of technical issues, bugs, stream stuttering, any number of things. And so those three combined, we plan on tackling by making streams more accessible, by fixing some bugs we've had, some video improvements. We're focused on making a mobile app, that way more viewers can access the streams that they're trying to watch. And then on the third, we're working on more and more marketing content to actually start to have a regular cadence on social media again. So even though we are, talking about continued descent, I don't want everyone to just freak out. I think this is, we are sharing this information because we're an open company, because we believe that this information should be transparent. If we were having an internal board meeting right now, it would be the same, right? Business is down. It's not good, but here's our concrete plan to improve it. Here's how we're going to continue to grow and continue to grow Glimesh. So that's the same thing we do here. We treat you all as our board members. The business isn't doing great. We're seeing a lot of decline, but we're in it to win it. We're around. We have concrete ideas, and we'll be making improvements here. So I just kind of wanted to call that out in particular because it does seem like the same thing week over week. On the financials perspective, like I said, MRR is down. That's monthly recurring revenue. You can see right now we're at about 8,160. And then if you look at our right here, this is our budget. We basically are only tracking server expenses at the moment. There's really not any kind of money being spent anywhere else. We're not paying people. We're not spending any marketing costs at the moment. We're just paying for servers, and we're not even doing that yet. This is actually just a budget of what would it be like if we were paying for servers. So we have so far this month, 25 days in, about 8,480 gross dollars. We've paid out $1,800 so far. We have another payday tomorrow. That means our revenue left over is about 6,600. Our total DigitalOcean expenses is $1,800. Last month, we were already at $1,800 in the first 2 weeks. So resizing our servers, making them more efficient, making them the right size has really paid dividends. You can see bandwidth overages are extremely small. So we have found at least a good size of servers for our current load. And then as we continue to grow, we can scale those servers back up. So if we were paying for servers, we would have $4,000 in profit this month. But since we're not paying for servers, we still have credits. We have $6,600 so far this month in profit. Now, again, profit's not going into our bank. It's not going into my bank account. It's not going into any of the team's bank account. It is going into the Glimesh bank account. That way, when we're ready to do, advertising campaigns or capital expansion, we'll have the money to do it. We can just we can empower the community, and it also gives us some runway. If server costs when we do start paying for server costs, which will be next month, if people stop subscribing, this money will give us more time to exist. We call it the war chest. Not the Glim Bank's kind of good actually. Glim Bank. All right, so I kind of skipped ahead, but let's go back to the roadmap. So right now we are in phase 1 of the alpha. That's kind of like, we're opening the door to the world for the first time. We're very early on. We've got a lot to prove, but we haven't quite got our bearings yet. So alpha 2 is really about learning about where we are and how we can focus on growth. So we got a lot of feedback from our community, from our streamers, from our viewers, from our team, from everyone we could possibly think of, and put together this alpha roadmap. You can see in here the phase 2 is where we're at right now, or that's where we're heading into. Phase 2's got a extreme focus on what we're calling viewership. This is to make sure that we can continue to help streamers feel successful on the platform and be successful on the platform by making sure that viewers, whether we're advertising it or they're advertising it, have a really good experience watching streams. One of the biggest issues we're having right now, or not issues, but one of the biggest improvements we want to make right now is in the focus of a mobile app. We want to build out a mobile app because a lot of viewers are watching on mobile. It's about 40% so far from what we can see. And I think realistically there's even more than that who are discovering streams or discovering content via mobile. I don't know if anyone's heard of TikTok before, but TikTok and Vine and Snapchat and all these things are how people discover video now. And so if we create a TikTok ad or whatever the heck it looks like, and you can't watch it on your phone, if you can't watch it on an app, we're going to lose that audience just because it's not compatible with what they're used to. They're trying to watch on TikTok, they're trying to watch on their phone, and if we don't have at least a really good mobile website or a really good mobile app, it may not kind of have any return. So we want to focus on mobile app to help kind of smooth that out a little bit, to give that experience to our users. It will be focused mainly on viewership, not really on streaming. There's no streaming component of it yet, just viewing. But we hope to release that just as we do our normal software, extreme alpha, and then we will continue to build it out and make sure it's good. The second thing we're working on for the phase 2 is the video improvements for poor networks. This is right in line with that mobile app, making sure that mobile viewers can watch video, making sure that users who aren't in the best of internet connections can watch video, making sure that streamers who are having packet loss or other issues can either get help and troubleshoot their problems, or maybe we can help actually automatically smooth over some of those problems. The third one there will be custom channel emotes. This is about creating channels that are engaging and fun and addictive for better or worse. With channel emotes, we want to give streamers a way to create a community, to create their own kind of personal branding and share that with their audience. Gift subscriptions are the ability to be able to buy one-time subscriptions for other viewers. We want to work on this because we've seen that a lot of our streamers who are used to Twitch or another platform end up getting a lot of their subscriptions from gift subscriptions. Now, I don't think we're going to turn this feature on and all of a sudden they're going to make up that, that income. I don't think it's, we don't have the viewership for it yet. But when we do start to get that viewership, when we do have people coming in and really blowing up some streams, to be able to give them the opportunity to throw a gift subscription at other viewers in the chat can just go that extra length to make sure that viewer who got the gift subscription sticks around, that they continue to watch that streamer. Then the last thing that we want to work on, and these are all kind of big picture things, there are going to be a ton of features that fit in between these, but these are kind of the bigger items. So then the last thing would be rating. After a stream is over right now, you kind of are just left with a video player that won't play any video. And being able to kind of like automatically move those viewers over to another stream, whether they want to watch them or not, rating kind of gives us a good opportunity to do that, to make sure that people don't think that the fun's over as soon as the stream's over, and then they can maybe find a new streamer to watch. So right now in progress, we have the Glimesh mobile app. We've already started development on that. We've got some good designs out there. There's a lot of technology to figure out. There's a lot of work to do, so it's not ready yet. But we've started working on it. And then for video improvements for poor networks, we've started working on that too. And I think Hayden and Dan have actually a pretty good idea of, what it looks like, what kind of questions we want to ask. So hopefully we'll hear more about that soon. But on the mobile app perspective, Barcade, who is one of our design team members, has been working on mocking up what a mobile app could look like. These are all in the design channel as well. You can see them for yourself. But we are working on a mobile app that is strictly focused on the video experience. It's focused on watching streams, following streams, subscribing to streams. Now, caveat, we may not have subscribing for a little while on mobile. We've got to figure out the whole Google, Apple 30% cut. But being able to watch a stream, chat with the stream, interact with stream, find streams, discover streams, get live notifications, all of these things we want to do. And so we're starting to design what those look like. I've actually got a semi-functional prototype where you can actually watch streams. So it does seem to be kind of coming together. And then what we're going to do is continue to build out that core functionality of the app, and then hopefully we can get some of you to alpha test it with us, just so we can fix all the really bad bugs before we push it out. Now, again, not right now. This is not this week. This is not next week. This is not the week after. This is sometime in the future. It's something we're working on, but we've got some time.
And if nobody's seen, Clone also will occasionally stream development of the mobile app on his channel.
As a strict non-self-promoter, I would never say that, but yeah, it does happen sometimes.
Not self-promotion if I say it.
In the afternoons. Ow. Not my Twitter. I don't tweet it, though. I definitely don't tweet it.
Chris. Like, damn it, I'm leaking something.
Anywho, I'm going to keep moving. So we've been making some other improvements as well. Like I mentioned before, we're already seeing some video stability for poor network improvements. I think that Hayden and Dan have been working on some really, really neat stuff. One of the things that Dan figured out, and Hayden, definitely elaborate, please. But one of the things Dan figured out is that Chrome is potentially handling some of the video that we're sending it improperly, and so we may actually get a bug fix in the Chrome browser to support Glimesh better. Hayden, do you want to dive into any of that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, disclaimer, we're still studying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan has been messing around with the Chromium source and digging through how they actually handle WebRTC video packets in their little jitter buffer. Um, when people see micro stutters or pauses or whatnot, Dan is actually looking into, the code that's actually handling the buffer that may be causing that. So depending on what we dig up, we may end up pursuing changes in the Chromium code base. Which yes, that'll go to Edge too. Um, so potentially we will look at that. But yeah, disclaimer: we haven't gone too far down that path yet, but it's getting interesting.
But that will never stop me from mentioning it as early as I can. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're a total nerd, Dan has this gigantic write-up about it on our GitHub page. If you're interested, we can share that with folks.
Hayden, can you link it in chat?
Yeah, I'll dig it up. Give me a second.
Cool. So one of the things that Dan and Hayden have actually worked on is, I guess I call it, and this is my naivety, I call it packet loss smoothing. So one of the things that they worked on was if your stream is experiencing packet loss at kind of like a low rate, like a 2 to 4% packet loss rate, there's code that we can actually write that will help fill in those missing packets. Whenever you have packets drop like this, we may be able to help make that video whole again. And so we are going to start testing some packet loss smoothing soon. That could help some streamers who are experiencing packet loss, but it's in an early phase of testing, and we don't want to promise anything before it's actually tested out live yet. We also have new emotes, which is exciting. Jur, I think, made most, if not all of these. There's also some animated emotes in there, like you can see with Banjax. Everyone should be able to use these new emotes. And then if you're a platform sub, you can use the animated ones. There's also a new feature, actually by Ember, which shows mature icons on live streams. So when you're searching, you'll see a little yellow mature. And then we have also made it available in the API. There was also an issue where if you muted a stream, it didn't save what volume you were at. That's been fixed now, so it'll save muted streams. And then I accidentally left in this sentence, which has no bearing on anything we're talking about today. This was from last week's, so ignore that. And then the last thing here is one of our new contributors, I think their name is pronounced Ian, has made some improvements to local developers who are working on Glimesh to actually use a Docker Compose workflow instead of having to set up all the crazy Elixir stuff and get confused. So hopefully that's an easier path to success for some of our new developers, or not even new developers, just developers in general. All right. So then we also have a ton of community wins in here. I didn't know if maybe Barry wanted to speak to some of these.
Yeah, okay. So I guess one of the main things we've done this week is we've been working on completely overhauling the way that the support site looks, especially with where things are located, to make it easier for people to find that information that they want when they need it. Um, as part of that, we've been going through and we've identified some places where there might be some articles missing, or we could have it just a little bit better worded. So we've been improving that as well. We've had Dan and Hayward have been working so hard on getting a troubleshooting guide together for everything you need to know about issues with OBS and slobs. So if you are having issues, you can head over to the support site and check that out. I will send the link in chat for that. And also another article, again by Dan and Hayward, for those that are wanting to get clips when they're streaming. It's about how to set up replay buffers so that you can record your clips locally. We've also got a couple of new articles, one by Chris on part of our new viewer help section, how to filter streams. That is the only one at the moment, but we will be building on that to not just focus on the streamer side, but also help improve new viewers to the platform and help them understand how things work a little bit better. New information about how changing your default payment methods work. So if you are wanting to change your payment method for your subscriptions, do check that one out, because that does have some pretty important stuff you should probably need to know in there. And finally, Simi and Digi have been working hard on getting some video guides. So if sitting and reading text is not your thing, you can check that out as well and have a look there. So yeah, pretty quick, but there you go.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. And so you can see all of these changes live on the support site right now. Like she was saying, you can kind of click on any of these areas, and it'll take you into more and more detail about what you could possibly need to know, including walking yourself through OBS issues. Like she said a minute ago, setting up clips. So this is something super cool you can do. Even though we don't have clips right now, you can actually record clips at this very moment. It's actually pretty less. It's not very stressful on your computer, so it doesn't actually use too much space. It just keeps a little bit of a buffer in memory, and then if you set it to clip, you'll actually just take a clip of those last couple of seconds. It doesn't use any additional disk or anything. It's pretty nice. Cool. Thank you, Barry. And Barry's been really working on all of these overall changes, and I think she's done a great job. All right. And then that's it. The end. Sorry, I forgot. I thought there's another slide, but I guess not. So as always, thank you everyone for being here. If you have any problems, I keep seeing people who have problems and then they don't mention it. We would love to help you. So if you have a problem, come ask us. We'd love to work it out live. We'd love to hop in a voice call. We'd love to do it over text, over Twitter, whatever you need. Just shoot us a message and we'll be there to help. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you YouTube. Thank you people who are watching on YouTube for giving us 31.5 minutes of your time. Have a good night. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta go to the thank you slide before I do that. There we go. All right.
Now we can stop.